What's up guys, Josh Lewis here. I wanted to check in and do another video about anxiety. So a little while ago I did a video called How to Treat Anxiety, and I got a lot of feedback from it when I found out that I was eventually, diagnosed with anxiety. And then I realized after going through some treatment and medication that there's a lot of things I can learn from it, and I want to share those things with you. I think anxiety is really important to talk about. I think depression, mental illness, all these things are extremely important to talk about because there is a stigma related to it where people ignore it, they shove it, they push it down, and they're embarrassed by it. And I think, that's one of the things I did too as well. I thought I could just figure everything out by myself. And while that's true, you can't figure out a lot of things by yourself. There's some things that you need help with, that you need support with. So that comes to the first thing I learned about anxiety, and that's get support when you need it. There's a lot of things we get little anxiety every single day if we're, in traffic or if we have to talk to our boss or something like that. I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about things that are too heavy for you to actually bear throughout the whole entire day. And I think one of the most important things is self-awareness and self-realization, in the sense that this might be a lot for you to take on, and you can't do it by yourself, and you're gonna need help and you're gonna need support from other people, whether it's a licensed professional, whether it's a counselor, whether it's somebody that you can talk to. And maybe there's meditation you can do, or there's medication that you can do, either or, to help you out. But the key is you need to get support. And I'm talking to the people who are ignoring it, who are ignoring the fact that they don't want to go out and get support because they might be embarrassed by it. They don't want to go see somebody. There's different avenues. I did something online through counseling. It was very great. I highly recommend it. And there's different avenues too as well that you can do when it comes to counseling or comes to professionalism. These things are very important, and you can't solve this by yourself if it's a serious issue. You need help from other people. We have a lot of power inside of us as human beings, and it's magnified once we're able to connect with others and help other people out, and have other people allow other people to help us out. So the number one thing is to get support. You need to break down those barriers of embarrassment and to go after the support when you need it. There's a quote that says, "To only increase knowledge is to increase sorrow." And I think in this day and age, in the information age, the knowledge, the information is becoming a burden that's too heavy for us to bear. We need support from one another. And that brings me into my second thing. And my second thing is, the second great thing that I learned is examine the deep root causes. Whether you do this with a licensed professional or a counselor, or you do it by yourself, there's things that I wrote down, letters to my mom who had passed away, letter to my brother who had passed away. And when I was told to do this by a counselor, I didn't want to do it because it hurt so much, but that signified to me it was something that I needed to do. So examine the deep root causes behind your anxiety. Your body's not just reacting because it just feels out of balance. There's things that are in your life that need to be examined. You need to examine those deep root causes, because those deep root causes are what's destroying you internally. Too many times we think threats come from the external source, but they really, the greatest source of torture we will ever have in our lives is the internal torture we put on ourselves. The anxiety, the fear that we've put ourselves through, that it's not influenced by other people, it's something that we do to ourselves. So it's very, very important for you to get to the deep root cause of what those sources are, because those things are the things that are holding you down, they're holding you back. And to be able to get through those scenarios with help, you will find what your greatest fears were and what the greatest solutions could be to them. Because if you ignore the deep root causes, they will be haunting you for the rest of your life. You will have no relief. You'll just push it down further and it will get worse and worse. Trust me on this. This is coming from an expert somebody who was pushing things down for a long time. You need to examine the deep root causes. And the third thing I want to add, and this is very important, is the third thing that I learned is You design your future. We design our future. And what does our future look like? See, our lives are in our control. And that doesn't mean it's a journey that has to be alone. You know, there's that quote that says, you know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And what that means is, in order to grow better and bigger, you need to go with other people. You need to get the support from other people. You need to be able to have resources that can help you design your future. You need to be able to take control of your life and then go after it, in the sense of, you know what you want, and if you don't want anxiety anymore, to go look for the sources. If you're plagued by it, if you have depression, if you have fear, if you have panic attacks, I had all those things. The thing is to go after it with designing your future. What does your future look like without anxiety? What does your future look like without depression? These are questions to ask yourself and then design your future. You see, the thing is we have so much power that's inside of us, but we've held it down for too long. And that's what this video is about. I want you, who's ever going through any type of anxiety, to tap into that source of power, to get help from other people, to get help from yourself, to examine the deep root causes. You have power inside yourself. It's time to bring it out.